you have the originator, the galactic core, and out of that come the aeons. The aeons are called generators, they're created beings. Because there was some kind of split in the pleroma and energy leaked out that, like I said, the panic and the energies that got disrupted created sort of these haunting archonic forces that were kind of coming back. You know, kind of like when we have a nightmare, you know, we're panicked for a second? Well, because of the primordial sea of chaos and how fertile it is, it started to generate beings that represented that level of fear. And yes, that's kind of an issue. And in the Gnostics, I thought that's an error. It's nobody's fault, but it's like this creation is a bit of an error. It's like a whoops. And that's terrible, and this is a huge whoops. But ultimately, everything returns to the mother source. Everything returns to the galactic core and rebirths again. We've had a number of big bangs, and some scientists have already proven already. You know, and of course, this is the nature of even the evolution of God, Goddess itself, and the galactic core as a conscious being that is going through these different cycles, figuring out what its power is all about, learning about what it is. And we're just locked in a part of that cycle right now, but we got eternity here. This is a moment in time, you know. We're dealing with time travel. We're not as locked into this as we think. We're just at a very stagnant, very dark, very difficult place. But you know, the prognosis is that, of course, we're going to recover because we're immortal beings, and there's just no way around it. The global elite aren't. That's why they use these technologies. So the difference is that nature and their anti-nature, anti-Mother Earth, they're using things to sustain themselves because they can't function on the natural energies and the frequencies and how much they offer us the same kind of abilities. They've been able to somehow, like, you know, what they were saying, understand the grid lights, understand the occult, understand certain dark rituals, to harness the power, you know, and the magnetics and the gravitational stuff and the planetary, or, you know, using all that and for many thousands of years, perfect a way to, I mean, they're very smart. I mean, they're very smart. They've got powerful agendas, but they're not smarter than the Supreme Being, and the Supreme Being has the supreme agenda.
Let's go.